Really quick before we go, just a few words from both of you on commodity ETFs, especially ones that focus on precious metals. Is that something that investors should start looking at?
Well, they certainly have been focused there. Gold and silver related ETFs have been extremely popular. In July, certainly punching above their weight. GLD was the leading ETF. That's the Spider Gold ETF. This is the largest, most liquid ETF. We saw retail demand for ETFs in gold. Also, GLDM is another Spider product. Some of the other cheap products as well. BAR is another one that saw inflows during the year. You also want to pay attention to the mining plays of this. So I know Jay can touch on the silver miners, but GDX and GDXJ are the gold mining ETFs that are performing quite well. There hasn't been the same demand, but obviously if the price of gold goes up, that's a good thing for those that are producing it.
Jay, any quick thoughts? I know that Global X has a silver ETF, right?
Yeah, and I would agree with what Todd said. I mean, I think it's easy for investors to forget about precious metals because when you're in a great bull market, sometimes you look at your portfolio and those gold and silver positions not be as high flying as U.S. equities, but they prove their worth in troubling times. And right now is certainly a turbulent time for the markets. We like the mining space. We do have a silver miners ETF. The mining space provides more leveraged exposure to the underlying commodities. So if gold or silver is up, the miners tend to be up more. That means you can carve out a smaller portion of your portfolio and put it into the mining space and still get similar notional exposure to that gold or silver trade. So we like that as a long-term position that people, might have to forget about for 5 years, but it'll play a handy role when the time is right.
I would add that the mining space of the materials sector tends to be pretty small. So if you believe in this theme, you want a more dedicated ETF. The materials ETFs like XLB, the State Street ETF, has 70% of its weighting in chemicals companies. So even though we tend to think of gold and silver as key materials, they're significantly underexposed within some of the broadly diversified sector ETFs.